Tabby Cat. I'm from Staten Island.
I'm Dom.
Alex.
Tom. And we are Until We Get Caught.
My name's Anthony Bello. I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Hey guys, my name is Devin Stryker and I'm in a band called No Parallels, and I also run a press outlet called TriNovaMedia.com.
How's it going, you guys?
We're stay-at-home dads.
We are the ones you forgot.
They keep in touch all the time. He was a singer of this death metal band called Float Face Down, and he like jumped in the middle of the crowd and was like going around with everybody, and me just not really paying attention, like this innocent like little new kid just trying to see what's going on. I see him come flying at me like from the other end of the room, straight up body slam me into a table, and I was like, wow, this is insane. Like I kind of like it.
The band that kind of like influenced me to become a musician was Blink-182. Loved them since I was like 10. I'm 21 now.
Such a 90s kid.
Over a decade of influence. And I guess as I got older, I started listening to more heavy stuff. And I even dressed like a heavy kid.
Hardcore kid.
Or skinny jeans.
Or easy core.
Well, I think the first time I ever picked up an instrument was when I was really young. My dad played drums, so I've always like had music in my life. Believe it or not, I didn't get into like any bands until like 7th grade. It was MCR, My Chem, so emo, and that was like when I actually decided like, oh wow, I should actually start like trying to play music like this. And I started in like a cover band, and I originally did bass, but now I play guitar, and I didn't sing, but now I sing, so you never know where life's gonna take you. You just do what you do.
Alright, so I play drums, I hit things. How I got into music was really interesting. I saw a couple of kids that are in a schoolyard. They were like shaking a band. They were listening to like a heavy metal band.
That's why they were listening to the band?
Yeah, they were going crazy. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Basically, long story short, my favorite first band was Slipknot, and it's been a huge influence on me. Other than that, I've been playing drums since probably 5th grade. Since a little boy, but definitely we're starting to really play our shows that we really loved.
I grew up on a very weird combination of music. Like, you look to me, when I first got introduced to music, my dad introduced me to AC/DC. So that was cool. And then I was hanging out with my older sister, and she liked the Spice Girls, the Backstreet Boys. So that's what I got into. Millennium from the Backstreet Boys was one of the first records I ever bought.
Or Millennium.
I think that was the record I bought after I bought Insomniac from Green Day, which is the first record I ever bought. But no, my influences were AC/DC, Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, Blink-182, and Green Day. Green Day, my all-time favorite band, hands down. Biggest influence ever. I got into music at like 4 years old. My grandmother taught me how to play piano, and then when I turned like 10, I was like, you know what? I want to play guitar. So I started playing guitar and didn't really touch it for a few years. And then I was like, you know, I really need to start doing this. So I did, then started a band, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I like to expand and play different instruments. Play drums, bass, guitar, piano, harmonica, yada yada yada.
You actually can play drums pretty well too. I'll admit to that one. I guess for me, it started out back when of course, I went to elementary school playing percussion and all that. And then my uncle, he gave me my first drum kit. He was a big time drummer, all about jazz and all that stuff. So I got into jazz music, started playing that. From there on in, it's been about 13 years. Just playing drums, playing with marching band for 4 years. That helped me a lot with timing and such. And then got my first kit probably in 2010, I'm gonna say. Yeah, 2010 Christmas. Started working from there, and then finally, I'm actually happy to be in this band. I think the biggest problem with the local scene is that there's competition. Most people don't want to cooperate. Whereas if you have a bigger band coming to, say, New Jersey, everyone's gonna want to jump on that bigger band, and they're gonna want to like compete to like get that opening spot. But if you guys just like work together, make your own local shows, and like actually get like a local band gig, then you guys are all gonna have the same success and not just fight over trying to play with bigger bands.
that's a con. But the pro is that you get to do everything you love, just like playing music and moshing and being with your bros.
I mean, it's definitely a lot. I mean, seeing people, you know, scream your words back at you in a different state's pretty cool. But I mean, when you do it at home, I think it's equally as cool. Like when we played our release, like our EP release show back in February, we had maybe like just under 100 people. Everyone was packed out, and we had like, you know, a lot of people. We literally released the EP the day of, and there were people already like yelling our words back.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see.
What happens when you support the local scene?
I think a lot of the pros is you can get recognized as a band, and a lot of people can help you get further in the music scene, but a lot of the cons is a lot of people never really want to do it, especially if you're not a big band and you're just starting and up and coming. Like some of the local small bands, it takes them a lot of time to get further because no one really goes anymore, especially in Staten Island. The scene really went downhill.
I'm a photographer for the local scene in Staten Island and New Jersey. I'm here to support my friends in any way possible. I feel that today in the music, I mean, I was only born in 1998, but I've been around to know that this new generation of kids, they just love taking the music offline for free. Not take, but stealing it, and it just it pisses me off when someone like my friends work so hard in the studio, pay so much money to record a song, and then someone has the nerve to steal that for free offline. Meanwhile, they're only selling the song and EP for $10, which is really nothing. So there's really no. If you really want to support your local music scene, buy their music and their merchandise, because that's the only way you can support them these days.
It's what you make of it, I guess, because you know, you have the people who go in there and have fun, you have the people who like have the problems. It's just, you know, it's just like anything, really.
It's like life.
Yeah, it really.
It's like being in high school again.
Pretty much, it's high school.
You have your friends, and then you have the people that just want to have the sole purpose of starting drama.
Yeah, you've got the cliques, you've got the drama. You got the drama club, you got the cliques. It's literally
fun,
high school with
the chess
guitars.
club.
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it though. Definitely fun. That's the main reason why we do this anyways, for fun.
So my take on the music scene right now is that it does have its like rough patches, and I know like everybody's trying to get more together to create like a formed music scene, but I know like with press outlets and with like teamwork, we can all actually make the scene a lot better. I just think there has to be more like passion with everybody being like friendly to each other. I feel like everybody needs to go out to shows, like buy tickets and support each other, whether it's out of state or not. Like I feel like that's the thing, that we need to create like a huge like family, and like I just want to give like a shout out to like to White House Collective, how they're kind of starting to create like a family like environment that we really do need like in this scene, and that's what I'm trying to do with my press outlet as well. I want to give the local bands on the East Coast like great high quality promos. I want to give them like press credentials. Like I want to see bands like local pop punk bands like Seaway and like Hit the Lights like on my press outlet. I want to see like hardcore bands next to like Being as an Ocean. You know, I want to give these bands a next step into another world that is called like press, because a lot of bands don't know that like press can look good for you and it can look good on your resume as a band. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to help this music scene, and I've talked down on this local scene, and I just want to say that like it wasn't towards anyone specific. I just meant as the scene as a whole. Like shout out to like Stay at Home Dads, moral of the story, shout out to The Ones You Forgot, shout out to A Boy Named John, shout out to all those bands, shout out to Sovereign Kings. Like they're all cool people, and I didn't mean anything specifically about that. You know, I just meant like the scene as a whole just needs to come together. I feel like that's what we all like have to do, and we're doing it slowly, so it's gonna be awesome.
I think a lot of people complain about things that don't need to be complained about, and you can just put that same effort into making things better.
I love everyone that I've met in the last year. They've become my closest and best friends, and I really don't know where I'd be without them today, because we all support each other so much, and they support the hell out of me. We're all about pushing each other to chase our dreams, and like Jimmy said before, you know, everything around here is getting better. People are getting more involved. I mean, there's some venues that, you know, you got to pay to play, blah, blah, sell tickets, but Jimmy is like doing wonders running his venue. No one has to pay to get in there. The bands don't have to sell tickets. It's always a free show, and that's what he's about, and that's what the music scene needs to be about. It's all about the camaraderie and getting together to have a good time. It's why we do this. It's because we love it and we have fun doing it. So my final thought is stop the pay-to-play. No one wants to pay $10 to see a local band play, especially when they're playing constantly. It's like you get the same crowds and they're sick of paying $10, $15 to come to a local show.
Especially if they've been coming for the past like 3 years to see almost the same music every time.
It's like the same people are coming to the shows and they get tired of spending money.
The best advice I could give is just try to get everyone's support, even if it's friends, family. Let them come to your shows, beg your friends to come, and then they'll actually, if they want to experiment and try something different, and then they'll come have a great time. The local scene's tough. There's a lot of people that may not like the music, a lot of people that like the music, but it's your hometown. You want to give the best you can.
It doesn't always stay as bad as you think it will. Like, if you want to be up the top and you want to like play Warped Tour and you want to play all these big things, you can, as long as you know that you can and know that you're able to. And I think that'll really help you further in your music career.
Go out to shows, go nuts, go crazy. Bands need that, because if you go nuts at shows, people are taking pictures, the venue is watching. You need to show that these bands are on a higher level. Like, we need to all be out there, and if you go crazy for my band, I go crazy for your band. If you take photos of my band, I'm going to take photos of your band. We all have to scratch each other's backs, you know. You scratch mine, I scratch yours. You know, it's just a support system. We all have to be, you know, like a big old giant family.
It's tough to make it in the music industry, so we should be backing each other up 100% without any second guesses. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. It's all about being good, having like good bandsmanship,
good vibes all around.
And seriously, support local music, support live music. All your favorite bands that you listen to now were once the little local bands sitting in the back room of Court Tavern trying to figure out what's going on and why they can't hear themselves talk. And yeah, they wouldn't be who they are today if they didn't do what all of us are doing right now.
Come out to shows, support your local bands.
Well.
It's a pop punk documentary, isn't it?
Not
so yeah, pop punk's not dead. Hashtag pop punk's not dead. You gotta have the hashtag in the title. Yeah.